Too many men are too emotional and too quick to make rash decisions based on momentary impulses or momentary desires. Too many men are too snappy. The second that something goes wrong, they throw a tantrum, they have a strop, they melt down. Whereas if they had actually just taken a second to step back, take a breath, assess the situation for what it is, they would have been able to find a nice solution and work around the problem and move forwards. But too many guys are stuck in this rut of being a victim to their emotions, being a victim to their impulses. The second something doesn't go the way that they had previously anticipated, as I said, they throw a fit. Now, this is a very, very dangerous habit to start getting into, guys. Life is not going to serve you exactly what you want, or at least in the order that you want it. There are going to be times where there are setbacks. There are going to be times where you experience rejection. There are going to be times where you think something is going to work out and just at the very last minute, it doesn't. You know, the client pulls out of the deal. Maybe you'd arrange something with friends and it falls through at the last minute. These things are going to happen. Now, how you respond to it is absolutely vital to whether or not you will be able to resolve the situation. If you throw a tantrum and you strop every single time something doesn't go your way, you're setting a bad benchmark for the way that you deal with problems. You are going to find people around you will look at you as a bit of a hothead, a bit of a loose cannon, somebody that they wouldn't go to in times of stress. They will associate you with somebody who cannot deal with stress, somebody who struggles under pressure. You must accept, guys, that sometimes things are going to go terribly wrong. Sometimes when the deal is just about to be confirmed and just about to go through, the client might walk away. You're just about to get your dream outcome, and then all of a sudden at the last minute it changes. Be the guy who knows how to regulate his emotions and deal with it. When bad things happen, you must have the ability to take a step back and just say, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? As the great late Jim Rohn used to say. If you are too emotional and too hot-headed when things don't work out, you're not going to be able to stick in it for the long game, because look, in life, guys, there is more rejection and there are more setbacks than there are wins and successes. Of course, the wins and success, they feel so much heavier. They feel so powerful. I mean, the failures can feel heavy and powerful as well, don't get me wrong. But we kind of associate the feeling of a win as actually, you know, an increase of frequency, when in reality, we lose a lot more than we win. So if you are a guy that can't deal with loss, and you are a guy who can't deal with setbacks and failures, you can't become a winner, because, as I mentioned, there are more losses than wins in life, and if you can't stick through the losses, you're not going to get the wins. So my message to you is to untrain your impulsive reactions and your strops and your tantrums when things don't go the way you anticipate them to. Don't get me wrong, don't settle for failure. That's not a good thing either. But at the same time, don't become the guy who can't deal with it. You must be able to fail, take a deep breath, say, well, isn't that interesting? Learn the lessons from the failure, move on, and try and avoid the same thing happening again. You save yourself so much time than the guy who throws a strop and he says, oh my God, it was almost over the line. I can't believe the client pulled out. Oh my God, this trip had been planned for months. I can't believe, it's cancelled. Or, oh my God, I was going to launch my business today and I had to push it back again and I can't deal with it. You're going to waste so much time if you go through life doing this. So much time. And another way to look at it, guys, is look, there's probably somebody else out there who has the same ambition, the same goal as you. They just have a better ability to deal with setbacks and failures. So think about it like this. If you're wasting all the time stropping and throwing a tantrum and questioning why things didn't work out and, punishing yourself, and then somebody else who wants the same thing as you has just accepted the failure, taken a deep breath and moved on, who do you think's more likely to get success? It can be the next bit of business. It can be the start of your personal brand. It can be, results in a sport or hobby or whatever it is. I'm speaking generally here, I don't know you and you don't know me, but think about it. I want you to imagine the thing that you like doing and put yourself in this scenario. Who wins? Is it the guy who can't deal with setbacks and failure, or is it the guy who deals with it pretty well? And I think it's almost a stupid question because the answer's obviously the guy who deals with the setbacks well. So look, try and make that you. Try and be the guy who accepts failure, deals with it properly, and moves on. You don't want to spend too long wallowing in self-pity. Accept it for what it is, say, isn't that interesting, and move on. Learn the lessons from the failure and move on. It's going to serve you so well. I see so many people who I've worked with, people who I've, studied with, that are just too rash, too emotional, too explosive when the slightest thing doesn't go their way. And when I see those people, I look at them and I automatically put them in the untrustworthy box. Not because they're bad people, not because I don't trust them on a basis of, they'd keep a secret or they'd respect boundaries and be respectful for me, but on the basis that if they were under pressure, I couldn't honestly say that they wouldn't crack. I've seen so many people like that. Rash, explosive, impulsive. Don't let that be you. It's not a good trait, and you don't want to find yourself being put in the untrustworthy box because you never learned to accept failure and you never learned to learn the lessons from failures. Look, I don't want to go too long today, guys, so I'm gonna cut it there, but I hope you've taken some value from this video today. If you have taken some value, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps me out massively. Every single one of you that hits the subscribe button makes a huge difference. Look, guys, check out the Free Men's Discord down below in the description of this video. There's over 25 young men in there looking to make some huge improvements within their life, and they are making some huge improvements in their life, sharing some big wins every single day. So look, if you want to make some gains and you want to join a community of like-minded people, make sure to hit the link down below in the description and join the community. Once again, absolutely free, no brainer. And look, if you're interested in one-to-one coaching with me, you got some problems at the moment, some things you would like to talk to, feel free to click the link down below in the description of this video and book yourself a slot at a time of your convenience. Look, guys, as always, thank you for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one.